Sofi update here on the 27th, getting this out kind of late. Looking at the chart, going over it a little bit, and I think that there's a possibility that this is actually like an ending diagonal. I think there's two possibilities. The one I originally had put out was that we're seeing A, B, C, B here, and then we have this move right here would be a 5-wave move. If we zoom in on this move, this looks very choppy, very corrective to me, and then we get, if this is a 5-wave move, it would be 1, 2, and then a minor 1, 2. We'd be on the third wave here. Overall, I would want to see, for this to play out, I would want to see it down to 875 minimum, but that's only the third wave, and the target is somewhere down here around 770. And since we have earnings in 4 days, it doesn't seem likely that we'll get down here, but it kind of depends on where we run up to before earnings, obviously. So if we have bad earnings, then I would say this is still in play. The market sells off, still in play. But really, I would want to see it get outside these parallel lines. So it would actually look like this. So this would be 1, 2, 3, and then we would see something down here to at least 875, bounce, and then another move lower. However, it doesn't seem, just based on that it would be able to get all the way down here to the bottom of the A wave. So it could also be a C wave that only comes down to like the 0.78 fib. So it could be something that comes down here only to about 820, and that could be the C wave right there. So that's the first possibility. That's bearish. The second possibility, if you look at the daily time frame, this move looked impulsive to me. This was corrective, and so I was looking for an ABC move for the B wave. But it is also possible that we are seeing a ending diagonal 5-wave move. So 1, 2, 3. We chop down here a little bit lower. We get earnings, and we get the 5th wave higher. And that 5th wave could go really high depending on how earnings are. But that also would complete the overall 5-wave move because we have the 3rd wave here. And so actually, if we take the length of the first wave was pretty far. In this case, I would say we could potentially get I don't know, about 15 bucks. That's pretty far. I don't think that's probably right. I'm using log scale, so it kind of makes the numbers inflated a little bit. But let's do it this way. 15 bucks seems like a stretch. I guess it's possible if they put out really good earnings. I'd probably look for something around 12 to 13 bucks potentially. That would be about a 30% pop, something like that. So this would be a big 5th wave up here to 11 or 12 bucks. That would complete the overall 5th wave. And on the weekly, you can see it pretty good actually. So it makes sense with the red candle there, and we get a 5th wave up here. So we'll see which one plays out. We have a couple more days till earnings. We have our earnings on Monday, I think. No, on Tuesday. So another thing I've been looking at is the standard deviation tool. Let's look at where we're at on the 4-hour time frame. We are still close to the top. You can see right here we got outside of 2 standard deviations above the midpoint. So if we drop all the way back down here, we still aren't even to the bottom part. You can see back here in May, we were at the very bottom of the standard deviation right there. So when you look at this, it makes you realize how dumb of decisions you make sometimes. especially on the 4-hour time frame. There are people when we were at this level, when that analyst put out the low price target, there are people selling at that point. When if you just look at this and use logic, you should have been buying like crazy. And then here, get the very top of that, you should have been selling like crazy because we got a pretty big drop after that. So right now, I think there's a chance it can go either way. But again, 5-wave move higher, or we continue this move down here and it turns into a 5-wave move. Maybe it only goes on to 820. Maybe it makes all the way down here. If you watch my overall market video, I pretty much say that the market could go either way over the next week. I could see new highs, and I could also see us selling down, like on QQQ, down to 360. If it's higher, above 390. So that's obviously going to have a big effect on Sofi, and we will see what happens. That's pretty much all I got to say. One more thing, look at the daily to see where we're at. So on the daily, we are still way up here too. So I would say that is not good going into earnings, but anything can happen. It can get out of here a little bit. So we'll see what happens over the next couple of days. Just a quick update. If you liked the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. And I'll put out another update probably over the weekend. Let's see what happens tomorrow with the overall market and on Monday going into earnings, and we kind of tell what's more than likely going to happen after earnings. Anyway, have a good night. I'll talk to you soon.